Microsoft has announced that it will cut at least 10,000 jobs in the coming months. Amazon laid off 18,000 workers, saying Amazon could not be in heavy people expansion mode every year. Google recently laid off 11,000 employees. Meta announced the layoff of nearly 10,000 employees. Before Meta, Twitter made the decision to fire its employees in bulk during October 2022. Salesforce also announced its plans to cut 8,000 jobs, or 10% of its staff, in addition to reducing its office space. Overall, the total number of tech job cuts in the final quarter of 2022 alone ended up being 74,930. Then why Apple did not fire any of its employees yet? Unlike other big tech companies, Apple has stood out as a company that doesn't announce massive layoffs and has been a big exception. The reason for this is the smart decisions made by Apple over the past 2 years. Employee turnover during the pandemic is one of the main reasons for mass layoffs in large companies. Looking back in 2020, when the COVID lockdowns around the world had supercharged business for many tech companies. Because sales and profit continued to rise in 2021, tech companies continued their hiring spree. Unfortunately, it wasn't a sustainable move, certainly not in the current economic condition. Growth is slowing, and these companies are now having to readjust by way of layoffs. While larger companies may have taken short-sighted decisions and overhired and overspent in the past 2 years, Apple reportedly could predict that the boom witnessed during the pandemic was temporary. While Meta increased its workforce by 94%, Amazon by 100%, Microsoft by 53%, and Google by 57%, Apple increased its workforce by only 20% over the past 2 years. Apple increased employment under the pandemic and moved from 137,000 employees in 2019 to 164,000 by 2022, representing a 19% boost in the size of their workforce. But it was only an increase of 6.5% from the same period in 2021, corresponding to a real growth of 10,000 employees. This process of hiring is called the lean hiring process, which involves applying traditional supply chain management principles to recruiting. This in turn would lead to identifying which steps in the process add value and which do not. Each part of the recruitment strategy will be reviewed to identify inefficiencies, find solutions to them, and then monitor the results. It also means that employees are only paid according to their performance. There are no lunch breaks. Instead, Tim Cook, CEO, Apple has taken a salary cut last week. According to media reports, Cook, based on suggestions made by investors as well as on a request made by himself, has received a pay cut more than 40%, amounting to $49 million in 2023. Also, the Cupertino-based tech giant has implemented a hiring freeze that could last until September 2023, the end of Apple's fiscal year. According to company reports, wise moves made by Apple has saved its employees in the current difficult times, but the real test lies ahead. We need to wait and watch for the further move in the strategy of the company. Thanks for watching with us. Stay informed.